There has been a video going around the internet that has essentially caused a lot of conversation, and Joy and I have finally got around to watching the video, and that was the conversation on the Grapevine, which was debating whether or not Bruno Mars is a cultural appropriator. Now, this was the first time I had heard of their platform, and looking back to their YouTube channel, I was like, oh man, you guys have a lot of dope conversations. And I remember when I watched the video, I had tweeted and I said, okay man, I would love just to be a part of that dialogue in those rooms with black millennials who from different walks of life just talking about sharing their opinion, and it's recorded similar to what we do here. But back to the conversation of, is Bruno Mars a cultural appropriator? And after watching this 50-minute video, I was so floored at the passion that some of these individuals had in saying that Bruno is a cultural appropriator. And I just want to come out and say what my vote is I do not believe Bruno Mars is a cultural appropriator. I believe that he has given respect and homage to those who came before him. And to me, when I was listening to the audio and these individuals express their disdain, is really what it came down to for Bruno, is to me it wasn't really it shifted from a conversation of cultural appropriation to a conversation of black folks not getting the same opportunities as their non-black counterparts.
Right.
And to me, that's the conversation that I wish they focused more on. Because as they kept talking and explaining, I was like, okay, we're getting further and further away, and there's individuals in the room who are just like, nah, so what is this debate about?
So that's what my takeaway was also, that it's a deeper issue. Because if you take sometimes an issue needs a figurehead. So people decided that Bruno Mars, right now, Bruno Mars is someone that we can use who's not a black person, who is a person of color, but he's not a black person, and he's using our music and he just won a Grammy for it. I'm also in the camp that I don't think that Bruno is a cultural appropriator, and that's simply because he gives credit where credit is due. I think cultural appropriation is when you take something as your own, give yourself credit, or give somebody credit to whom it doesn't belong. Like, that doesn't make
And someone had made a good point of saying, when you do it like with malice and you're trying to do this beyond your lifestyle, saying, okay, here is someone who's a non-black person and comes out and says, I'm gonna purposely steal this and I'm gonna try to create this whole persona that's completely not me.
Right.
And then once it doesn't fit me, I can take off this cloak and go on about my day. It's like, no, you know nothing about this experience.
Right.
And I don't feel anything that Bruno has done that he's walking around like, oh, I'm this brother. He's like, no, I have an affinity to this type of music and I want to perform it, and he's been successful because of it. And I'm not knocking his success, because again, I haven't seen anything that Bruno has done that leads me to say, oh man, this man's out here trying to take advantage of black music and is not showing love. Like, nah, I don't see that.
There's a list of every track and who it's modeled after. I don't know where that list is, but it's like New Edition, James Brown. Like, there's just each track on 24 Karat Magic. Or 24 Karat.
Yeah, 24
K.
And that's what the main album that they were talking about. But again, to me it was a deeper conversation of, again, black folks not given the same opportunities that non-black musicians are given, and they did make good points.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, and
that I 100%.
And that's where I felt. I said, to me, this is a different conversation, and someone said, well, we just need to hold Bruno accountable, and individuals who are not black who are getting these same opportunities, who are getting better opportunities performing our music, we need to hold them accountable to make sure that they are giving back, reaching back, and giving black artists, individuals who are born in this genre, who culturally understand it, can get those same opportunities. I was like, okay, I don't have an issue with that. But it's like the anger that went on from some of these individuals, I was like, yo, y'all are wildin'.
Right, and I think that's the other thing, is that when you're fighting for a seat at the table, like, and you have this thing in your mind, well, there's only room for so many and he's taking a spot. When really that's not the issue. The issue is that there should be more spots. Like, it shouldn't be, well, Bruno is using some of our music and now there's no room for anyone who is qualified, right, in quotation marks, to sing our songs. So yeah, I would have liked to see that conversation explored. I'm not having an issue with Bruno, and I think, too, my guard's down, being honest, because he is a person of color. Maybe he was just like,
Yeah, he's not black.
Straight up white boy from like, you know, the South, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna do this thing, but again, it's not really who I am. I saw my friends do it and I know I can capitalize on it, then I would have an issue, but I'm just not getting that vibe from Bruno. Now, could we be wrong? Yeah, he could be, if an audio recording comes out with Bruno, he's like, oh yeah, I'm just taking black people's stuff.
Oh yeah, then the world's gonna
black
break.
people aren't gonna get it. I'm just gonna do it. Like, you know, fine. But I do feel like the odds are still stacked against you as a person of color. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't have that same disdain, and there were, Jimmy Jam basically came out and tweeted and said, no, I do not think that he's a cultural appropriator, and I believe my friends Babyface and Teddy Riley was a figurehead within this conversation, would agree. Yeah, so it's good dialogue to have.
Yes, and important.
And very important.
Yeah.
It was a passionate conversation.
Yeah.
And the thing I enjoyed most about it, and it's specifically, and this is where I give a hats off to the entire Grapevine staff, is having black folks from different backgrounds coming and discussing topics that are related to our culture, but having completely different opinions. Mm-hmm. You don't get to see that often. And that's what I took away and wanted to go back and watching some of their videos. It was just nice to hear different opinions from black folks, because a lot of black opinions in mainstream get put in one line.
Yeah, it's like, and this is what all black people think.
If you're black, this is what you think, this is how you talk, this is how you act, this is how you dress. And that narrative gets flipped when you watch the videos that they have created. So again, shout out to the Grapevine team and the creators and those who engage in those conversations. I would love an invite. I know you guys mostly East Coast cats, and you know, they had a few brothers from the South. But look, if you ever need a Cali boy to come out to the East Coast and talk about a little something, I would love to indulge in those conversations.